Alright, what's good, Slap City? I wanted to do another reaction video because we got some new Power Slap news this week, and it's pretty big. So, yeah, gonna go over that. We got a new fight announced for Power Slap 10 that we're gonna go over quickly. And then I wanted to give a post-fight thought on the Crespo versus Romero fight because, yeah, in my previous reaction video, I spoke a little bit about it, and that was actually recorded before the fight happened, but ended up coming out after the fight happened. So, yeah, wanted to touch on that as well. Yeah, I want to do these reaction videos more regularly, but the problem is a lot of the time there's no news. So, in between now and Power Slap 10, there's going to be a lot going on, and even through next year. So, trying to make these a pretty regular thing. And yeah, with that said, okay, so I got wind that there is a new Power Slap rule that was implemented regarding draws in 3 round and 5 round matches, apparently. So now in Power Slap, if a match ends in a draw, there will be an additional round. So if there's a match on a live event that ends in a draw, either 3 or 5 rounds, then the match is going to continue for an additional round, whether that be the fourth or sixth. Now, in the fourth or sixth round, the person who received the first slap in the third or fifth round will slap their opponent first. So that's a big deal, man. That is a big deal. And I absolutely love this. And you know why? It cuts into the advantage of the coin toss. If you listen to my breakdowns, you know that I'm always talking about how there's compounding damage in fights, and the person that wins the coin toss has a compounding advantage over their opponent each round that the fight goes, being the one that gets to inflict damage first before they do. So this directly goes against it, meaning that that person who lost the coin toss in the bonus round will no longer be at a disadvantage. I mean, they will be because they've taken the compounding damage, but as far as the new round, they will actually get the advantage. So I absolutely love this. You know, the coin toss, there's absolutely nothing you can do about the coin toss as a striker. So you're just at the mercy of it. I don't even think you get to watch it. So the fact that they're going to switch this up and make it a little bit more even, it's only going to add to the excitement of the fight, in my opinion. Getting to balance that out and adding a new element to the coin toss winner, knowing that if it goes extra rounds, you're going to take that first hammer. So, and then lastly, if the final round ends in a draw, then the match will conclude as a draw. So we're not getting rid of draws in Power Slap, apparently. We're just adding that extra round. And if there ever were another draw in that round, then I guess the fight would remain a draw. So I would imagine that they're referring to fouls there as far as draws in the last round. So yeah, very interesting stuff. I really do like that. I mean, with fouls, you can't really take draws out of the equation, but at least you give someone the ability to overcome a foul. That's probably the thing I like about this the most, is that in a 3 round fight, you're fighting for a draw if you get an offensive foul, unless you finish your opponent. So you essentially still have a chance of winning the fight if you don't knock your opponent out. So yeah, on first glance, I really do like this rule. I think it's great. I think they're taking the right steps to increase the watchability and just the overall entertainment aspect. I've said in my previous reaction video that, like, this is slap fighting and this is power slap, but this is the entertainment business. So yeah, love to see Power Slap taking the necessary steps, identifying a problem, and coming up with a solution that doesn't completely hinder the entire scoring system. And then, so another new fight for Power Slap 10. It's Pono Pao taking on Cooper Housley in a heavyweight match. So Pao sits at number 8 in the heavyweight rankings, and Cooper Housley is sitting at 5 currently. So fighting a little bit back in the rankings for Cooper. But much like TJ Thomas and Garrett Grimes, who are also on this card, another chance to be able to steal the shine of somebody coming off the show with hype. So even though it's going to be a really tough fight for Cooper, it's a tough matchup, it really is smart to take the fight because these fights are harder and harder to get, especially as this roster just continues to grow. And I haven't heard of many people getting cut, so yeah, just continues to expand. But the good news is at least they're going to be putting on a decent amount of events next year. So got that to look forward to as well. Hopefully sunnier days when it comes to getting fights. But yeah, so from a ranking standpoint, it doesn't not make sense. I think it's a good fight. I think that it should be fireworks. Both guys have chins, but both guys have also been knocked out, so either guy is gettable here, and that's what makes the fight interesting. It'll be cool to see Pono on a main card for the first time. Curious to see how the crowd affects him, whether good or bad, and it's going to be a lot of energy. And I'm really curious if he's going to use his left or right hand because he has a lot of power in his left hand as he showed on the show, but I do worry with fouls if he's using his left hand. So, yeah, something to note. Hopefully he'll address that in an interview at some point, or I really wouldn't be surprised if he wanted to keep that under wraps so that Cooper wouldn't know what side of his face he's going to get hit on. So, from a betting standpoint, I would absolutely love to know that. It had to have been enough time for his hand. Like a broken hand, I've had a broken hand before. I had a boxer's fracture, and it literally took it wasn't all the way healed after 4 weeks, but I mean, it was pretty much all the way healed. So, it's been plenty of time for a broken hand. I would have to imagine he would go with his right hand, and that's a big factor in the fight, and it should be a big factor in the odds. So, if he's not going to say it, hopefully he at least doesn't let Vegas know either. And then, yeah, for Housley, last saw him at Power Slap 8 on the early prelims, the untelevised prelims. He fought Logan Greenhall, and it went to a draw. Had that fight won. All he had to do was land a clean slap and ended up throwing a foul. So, yeah, tough there. This would be a huge spot if that was coming off 2 wins, going against Bonapau to be able to make it 3 in a row in the heavyweight division. I mean, that's a run that will get you up there. And so it was really a tough one at 8 for Cooper, but chance to bounce back here. Both guys can crack, so a fight to pay attention to in the heavyweight rankings. Yeah, anyway, this one will be good. Curious to see where it lands on the card, and definitely curious about the odds here. And then, okay, so the Crespo versus Romero fight. So if you heard my previous reaction video, I had said that I just find it hard to believe that there's absolutely anything that Crespo will be able to do to Romero in a boxing fight. And I mean, come on, dude. Like, come on. Stevie Wonder could have seen this coming. Just look at this picture. I mean, you have one of the best to ever do it in combat sports and one of the craziest specimen athletes we've ever seen. And then there's Dwayne Crespo. And that's not even a knock on Dwayne Crespo. Like, he's a good power slapper. But these are just two completely different people. And the fact that anybody would sanction this is a little bit suspect to me. But anyway, don't think you'll be seeing any power slappers cross over anytime soon after this. Seems like a quick way to get in the bad graces of them. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see the contracts end up changing off of this fight. I mean, that was a gnarly knockout, dude. It was a gnarly knockout, and it was one that could have been prevented. So, tough to see that. You never like to see that. But, that's the game you play when you're taking fights against legends. And then lastly, so a friend of the channel, the Chin Reaper, tagged me in a story basically announcing that he got signed to Power Slap. I think it was like 6 matches or something. But yeah, tagged me in the story. He had been teasing a big announcement and that he signed with somebody for a while. And so kudos to him, man. I'm happy for him. He works hard. He is always online, talking shit, chirping, promoting himself. So he's going to be a good addition to the middleweight division. And so, yeah, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing some middleweights move down to 170. Not because, they can't compete anymore, just because, the limited opportunities. There's so many dudes who are just absolute nightmares. And on it, with the number of people who are going to be getting impressive wins, I mean, middleweight's on every card, so there's just constantly going to be new people stringing together win streaks. And so if you, drop a loss or two in a row at middleweight, that path to the top becomes a lot longer. Whereas when you can drop to a division like 70, and this isn't a diss to 70 as far as talent goes, but just right now from activity alone, I mean, besides the champ and Muniz, who's doing the rematch, the division is beyond stale. I mean, there's just no movement. And when I say stale, it doesn't mean that there's no talent. I mean that there's nothing going on. So it's stagnant. Like it's just not gaining any momentum or clout or notoriety or attention. So it's just stale. And so I really think that we need to see like 6 of the top welterweights in the world on the next card. I really do. Like, we really need to get that division moving again, but I wouldn't be surprised if you see some people from middleweight drop down. But yeah, that's what I got. Dope fight added to Power Slap 10. Shout out to the matchmakers of Power Slap. They continue to rip this card. And I know that I go hard on Power Slap sometimes for some of the decisions that they make, but it really is all love. Like when they kill it, I'm definitely gonna say that they killed it, and they are killing it, no doubt about it. And I love the signing of the Chin Reaper. You need people that are gonna put on a show, and he's one of them. So, and then lastly, so I've been meaning to do like I want to do some more videos on like broad topics. Like I did one on stage presence. I had already done back in the day one about like how to recover, the best way to take a slap, the best way to slap somebody. I've been considering doing like part 2s on that because obviously I've learned a lot since then, even more than I knew back then. The game continues to evolve every day. And so like with each numbered card that goes by, the skill and the technique is going to continue to evolve. So thinking about maybe touching up on a couple of those subjects, really looking forward to the beginning of the new year so I can verify this channel and start doing long form over 15 minutes. And that includes lives. And yeah, anyway, hope everybody's having a great day. Thanks to all the new subscribers. Going to be posting a lot of videos from now till the end of the year. Between the previews, breakdowns, regular videos, you already know what it is. Stay tuned. Holla at your boy. Peace.